Hey, you all. So, this is a late night knowledge fest, I guess you can call it. I'm just going to show you some of the more recent books that I've got. I've got several books coming along the way. I've ordered them, they haven't gotten here yet, but I do have a nice little amount of books to show right now. And I'd like to share them with you all. And hopefully, you can pass this knowledge on to someone else that needs it. So I'm just going to go in and get started because I'm not going to be on here too long because it is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, 1:30 anyways. But I just wanted to share this information with you. So the first book that I have here is called Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. And this is what the book looks like here on the front. And then here's the back. It doesn't really have an author, so I'm not sure who wrote it, but it's 79 pages. And I did put in the description where I got these books. And so you can look in the description box and actually see where I got the books. Again, that's Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. The next book here, this book here, my friend told me it was actually where they got the story of Tarzan. So it's called, now bear with me if I pronounce this wrong, I'm sorry. The History of Hay ibn Yaqzan by Abu Bakr ibn Tufail. I'm guessing I'm saying that right. It doesn't really have a cover on the front. But this is the name of the book right here. And it actually came from a library, which is pretty cool because most of the time when it comes from a library, it's been highlighted. Looks like somebody already did highlight it here. Page 34, they highlighted. This is just the introduction. But it doesn't have a cover. And you can tell it's an older book. But this book here is 179 pages. So I haven't started reading it yet. I do have several books. Like I said, I keep buying books and I'll start reading one and then I'll get intrigued by another and I'll put that one down. So there's nothing wrong with buying multiple books and reading multiple books at the same time. You don't always have to read the whole book. Just make sure that you comprehend everything. And if you have to go back and reread it, and also make sure you cross-reference and study the authors, and that's key. Another book is The Peoples of Africa, The Berbers by Michael Brett and Elizabeth Fentress. And this is that book here. And this is the back of the book. This book here is 350 pages, and that's with the index. Again, that's The Berbers. And this book here is called The African Holistic Health by Layla O. Africa, and revised and expanded edition. This is over 150,000 copies in print. And this book with the index is 554 pages. So it's a pretty thick book. You don't have to read this book verbatim, not verbatim, but from front to back. You can probably skip around. You can go in the index, find whatever it is that you're having issues with, and then scroll to that page and then find your remedy in this book. And it's recommended by Dick Gregory. So I've skimmed through it a little bit, but I haven't really read the whole book yet, but I am in the process of reading that. The next book is When the World Was Black, The Untold History of the World's First Civilizations. This is volume 2 of The Science of Self, part 1, Prehistoric Culture, Supreme Understanding. So this is the first book, the front of the book. And this is the back of the book. This book here is about 322 pages. Again, there's the front. And there's the back. And this book here is called The Swastika, Symbol Beyond Redemption by Stephen Heller. And this book is with the index 181 pages. Hi, Waisu Kenyon, good morning. And this is it's not a really thick book, but probably take you a minute to read it. But just remember, take it back with your knowledge, with our knowledge, because this is ours. So I haven't read it all. I haven't started reading it all, but I skimmed through it and just a few things grabbed my eye when I was looking through it. But I have to be careful with showing this on here. I don't want to get blocked. But like I said, Y2 Kenyon, all the books that I have, I did put in the description box where I got most of the books that I have, where you can find them. This book here, this is kind of funny. I went over my grandmother's house the other day, and I was just looking for old books because when I grew up, when we had to write book reports, my grandmother had the Encyclopedia Britannica, the whole set. So I was thinking that it was there, but it was gone because my grandmother passed away a few years back. So they got rid of all the books. But I did find my old Spanish book. And look at that. It was only $1.95. But it's called Spanish Made Simple. This book is 191 pages. And like I said, it's Spanish Made Simple. So pretty much, it'll probably teach you the basics. If you took Spanish in school or something like that, it'll probably help you refresh. But I'm going to start getting into this because I plan on traveling soon. And I think I might want to go to Spain first. I'm not sure. I want to go to a lot of things. I know, right? $2. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but not a whole lot. I mean, I could hold a conversation probably, enough to where I could get to the bathroom or, how are you doing? Can I get something to eat? Something like that. But I think this book will help me bring it back because I took Spanish from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade, but I don't remember everything because that was a long time ago for me. So again, this is the front. I don't know if you can find this book. This is the back of the book. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And another book that I got when I was there over my grandmother's house was this old dictionary. And I don't know, it says in the front, look, I was flipping through it and I ripped a page and my aunt almost killed me. And so I was trying to see how old this was because it's very fragile. And I think it said let's see if I can find it again without having it. I don't know if I can find it again, but I might have ripped it out. I don't know. It's pretty old. If you can look at it and tell how old it is and how fragile it is. And you can see the speckles on it. But this is a Webster's Complete Reference Dictionary and Encyclopedia. So it's all in one. And I have more than one dictionary, but I just thought that was cool, the fact going over there. But this is my other dictionary. It's a Webster's New Universal Unabridged Dictionary. It's 2,347 pages, 320,000 definitions, 19 encyclopedic supplements, and 3,000 illustration, and also full color maps of the world. And this is the deluxe second edition, second edition. And it's really thick. Yeah, I don't know what year it is. I was trying to find the year, but I couldn't find the year. But it's old, man. I mean, you can just look at it and tell that it's old, just like the pages and everything. It's really, really old. But I know it's I was trying to find the year. It's funny though to look at older books. It says from Aunt Lillian to Ainsley Kinzer, which that was my grandfather. Share with sisters and brothers. Take care of your books. You need them in colleges. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I know, right? Old dictionaries are the best. And I don't know if it's an unabridged or abridged, but I'm guessing it's probably an unabridged, as old as it is. But it's got like these illustrations in it. I mean, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to look at it more. Uh, it's just hard. I was saying before how I buy so many books, and it's just like when I get new books, then I stop reading one and I start opening up another one and reading that one. And it's like, oh my gosh, sometimes it can get overwhelming, but I'm never going to stop buying the books. And I also put in the description, don't get the PDFs, because even though they're free, they can change that at any time. So like you'll be reading something, you won't even know that it's changed. It'll just change and you would never know. So if always try to get the hard copies of the books. If you can't, I mean, if you have to get the PDF, then go ahead and get the PDF. But, I would always just get the book. Let's see what you're saying over here in the comments. They tell me books used to be our chief currency. Yeah, I believe it, because books are capital. Some of the books that I have, I paid a couple $100s for. Some of them I paid $20 for. But that's the thing about books. Somebody always wants a book. And most of my law books, like my law dictionaries, and let's see. Oh, there's another book that I want to show. So bear with me just one second. Because I did recently get this book too. But I have terrorism law. I have Black's Law, 4th edition. I have international law. I have American civics. I have Valentine's 2nd edition. I have Black's Law, 5th edition. And this is my second constitutional law. And the tab, of course, that I have highlighted is the Dred Scott case, because that is a very significant case for us. So it talks about that. And I do actually have the case as well, the Dred Scott case. So if you're interested, you can email me at explosive expressions graphic design. Well, actually, explosive expressions graphics at gmail.com. And I will sell a copy of that for $25 of the Dred Scott case. So if you are interested in that, just email me. Again, that's explosive expressions graphics at gmail.com. And I'd be more than happy to send that out for you if that's something that you're interested in getting. And I did buy some books. I showed them in previous Reading is Fundamental. I showed them before to help me decipher the Dred Scott case, because there's a lot of terms and stuff when you're reading it that I don't understand personally. So that's why it's always good to have a book to help you break it down. So that way, it's a lot simpler. But the Dred Scott case itself is this thick. And this is the whole case here. It's actually Dred Scott, plaintiff in error versus John F. Sanford, Supreme Court of the United States, March 5th, 1857. So this is the actual Dred Scott case. So again, if you're interested in that, I'm not sure if I can go back and add my email to the description. I probably should have did that at first, but it's explosive expressions graphics at gmail.com. And you can also go to my website, explosiveexpressionsgraphics.com, and you can fill out the contact form if you want to do it that way. And I can get your information that way as well. Yes, the Dred Scott case. It's a very, very pivotal case in our history. Explosive expressions graphics at gmail. Yep, that's it. That's it. Good. Peace, Sean. Welcome. Please subscribe if you're new. I was just showing some books. You might have to watch the replay because it's not going to be a very long reading as fundamental, but this is the 5th one that I've done. And I probably have about 10 or 15 more books that are en route. I've already ordered. So I'll be doing another one as soon as I get those books as well. And another thing that I have that I am also willing to make copies and sell this as well is the King Alfred plan. This is the whole King Alfred plan. A lot of times when you Google it, you get Rex 84, which is what they renamed it. So this is the actual document, the King Alfred. So this right here, again, is 25. So if you're interested in that, you can email, thanks to Wasu Kingan. I'll pop that back up there. That's my email. You can email for that as well if you're interested. And the next book here is the ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors by Dr. Francis Cress Wessling. And this book, this is the front. I've got a glare, so I'm probably going to have to, because I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm just on here to try to give you all information. But that's the front of the book. And this is the back of the book. And this book here is about 200 and, well, let's just say 301 pages. So it's a pretty thick book. But I haven't started. I read a little bit of it, but I haven't started really getting into it. Like I said, I've got so many books. It's just, and I'll flip my camera back so you can see. Those are all the books right here that I have so far. So I have a lot, and there's some stacked up behind those as well. Peace, Sean. And the next one is The Fall of America by Elijah Muhammad. It says most powerful black man in America, Reader's Digest. That must be a quote. And this book here is 265 pages. That's the front of the book. And this is the back of the book. What I've looked at so far in that book, it seems pretty interesting. Chief Tanny delivered that opinion. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but maybe you could clarify that for me a little bit. The next book I have is the Kuma Malinke historiography. I can never say that word. Bear with me, y'all. The Sunday Adakita to Almami Samori Tori. It's by Nubia Kai. This book here is 340 pages. And I do have something highlighted in here. The Mandine Charter is in this book. So if you're interested in that. It also talks about the Moors and everything in this book as well. That's the front of the book. And this is the back of the book. I'm trying to get that glare off for you all. Sorry about that. I hear a lot about that book, the ISIS Papers, but yeah, my brother, he turned me on to that book. He said it's very good. So I can't wait to read it. Oh, wow. I just flipped to this chapter here. Look at this. Look at the chapter it's called. Oh, wow. They said she didn't hold anything back when she wrote this book. So I know it's going to be interesting. The next book I have is Legal Words You Should Know. It says over 1,000 essential terms to understand contracts, wills, and the legal system by Corey Sandler and Janice Keefe. And this book here is about 239 pages. That's the front of the book. And this is the back of the book. And again, in the description box, I did put where I get most of my books from. And oh, you need that one. Which one do you need, Sean? I've got so many. You're rolling on the floor laughing. I know, laugh at me because I'm a funny person. The next book that I have is called The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin, a second look at the Federal Reserve. This is the 5th edition. It's been written or published like so many times. Like when you open it up in the front, it shows you all the different times it was published. So no telling how much they've taken out of this book. I don't know. Oh, I know that chapter title that blew me away, and I just flipped to that chapter title. But yeah, this book I started reading a little bit. I did. I'm only on page 9, so I've got it bookmarked there. But I did also skip to a page, so I kind of go in and out of books. So it's nothing wrong with that though. And then I always like to show, even though I show them every time, everybody, please make sure that you get a law dictionary. I recommend not going higher than the 5th edition. That's just me personally. But this is Black's Law 5th edition. And I do also have Ballantyne's 2nd edition. I have Black's Law 4th edition. I have 2 constitutional law books, a terrorism law, international law, and then, of course, a civics book. So I do recommend to everyone to read up on civics because I was kind of rusty on my civics. And so I'm getting back now that I do have this civics book. And you can see it in the background. If you look back there in the middle, it says American Civics right there, right above terrorism law. And I did, like I said, in previous Reading is Fundamental, I did show those books and that those lives. And then, of course, the Constitution. But this one is a cool one. It's called the U.S. Constitution and fascinating facts about it. So it's not just the Constitution, it's also fascinating facts. Oh, you want this book? A lot of people want it. Yeah, a lot of people want this one. It's so interesting so far. You know, like I said, I haven't finished it and I probably won't finish it anytime soon, but it's good to have it. Just, you know that you have the book and you can grab it anytime you want and read it. But yeah, the Constitution, this is only like $3.95. You can get these off Amazon. I try to buy a couple at a time so that I can just pass them out to friends or family whenever they come by, because knowledge, it shouldn't cost you anything. You know, knowledge is free. And it's my job, knowing what I know and reading what I'm reading, to pass it on. And I feel like if I don't, I would be doing a disservice to my people. And this right here, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, I recommend this. I always say this in every Reading is Fundamental. Read the 13th Amendment for you. Okay, I will. Let's see, 13th Amendment. Let's see. It says the Amendment 13, abolition of slavery. The 13th Amendment was proposed on January 31st, 1865, and ratified on December 6th, 1865. And then it goes into the different sections. So Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2, Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So that's the 13th Amendment. Now, I did find something really interesting online. This is a congressional record, and it is titled United States of America Congressional Record, Proceedings and Debates of the 90th Congress First Session, Volume 113, Part 12. And it does in here say the 14th Amendment is unconstitutional. So this is very interesting here. You can probably find this online and just Google. You probably have to Google what's on the front, and you can find that online right here. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. But it tells you all the states that rejected it. Hi, welcome. Please subscribe, please like, please share. I'm just trying to get the information out to our people. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not here for like what is it, algorithms and stuff. I really don't care about that. But this is very interesting though, because it lists all the states that, let's see, it says here, Texas rejected the 14th Amendment on October 27th, 1866. Georgia rejected it November 9th of 1866. Florida rejected it December 6th of 1866. Alabama rejected the 14th Amendment December 7th of 1866. North Carolina rejected the 14th Amendment December 14th of 1866. Arkansas rejected it December 17th of 1866. Kentucky rejected it on January 8th, 1867. And then it goes on, Virginia, Louisiana, Delaware, Maryland, Mississippi, Ohio, New Jersey, they all rejected it as well in 1867. So it's just interesting. Except as punishment for crime. We want that part taken out, right? Because that's basically prison. So that's pretty much all I have right now. Like I said, I do have probably about 10 or 15 more books coming. They haven't gotten here yet, but they are coming. And I will be doing another Reading is Fundamental. This is part 5, so that'll be part 6 that I do. And I'm trying to put my books back over here, you all. I'm trying to think if I have any more books up here that I didn't show. I don't know if I showed the international law, but I'll show you that real quick. And most of my law books, I get those off eBay because you can get those for, you can kind of bargain with people. But this is the international law. And you see up here, it says Oxford. So it came from Oxford, which is good. It's pretty thick. But I don't know much about international law, but I want to learn. So therefore, that's why I got the book. And same with terrorism law. I don't know much about that either, but I'm going to know because I have the book. So it's always good to read. It helps me a lot. So I highly recommend it. What are you saying here? Wait, what? It says the 14th. Yep, that's what it says. So that's why a lot of people, they say the 13th and 14th Amendments are the amendments that apply to us and help us, but not according to this. And this is a congressional record. So again, here, I'll hold it up here. You all can Google that. I'll hold it up there for a second so you can see it. I don't know if you're on your phones. If you're on your phone, you can screen grab it or you can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's interesting. And I think that maybe the Amendment 14th, they made them put in at a gunpoint or something. You never know. I promise you, you never know what they are doing. But like I said, it's my job once I get these books to pass it on to you all. And then it's your job to pass it on to the next person. So I think there's a book called that, Pass It On or something like that. A movie they had. I don't know. But anyways, this was the first book that I can't wait to read this because I've heard so much about the United States being a corporation. And this book here talks about the straw man. It talks about everything. So I can't wait to start reading this just to find out, like, what are they talking about? Like with the birth certificates and the social security numbers and all that, how everything is, it's like we're living in the Truman Show. I don't know. So I suggest, I just Googled it. I think I got this one off Amazon. So I just type that in on Amazon and that should pull that book up. And I don't think it costs that much. I mean, you see how little it is. And it's only 80 pages. So you can't beat that. Yes, Pay It Forward. That's the name of that book. Pay It Forward. So I appreciate everybody that came on. I know it's late. It's 2:00 now, but I'm going to go ahead and jump off unless you have any questions or anything. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to try to answer them for you. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know, because I'm not ashamed to say I don't know, because I don't know everything. But that's why books are fundamental. Reading is fundamental because we learn from reading. So let's see. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to make it short and sweet. You're welcome, Sean. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share it out and hit the like button if you like the content. And I will be doing another Reading is Fundamental as soon as I get these other books that I just got, just ordered. So I hope you all have a good morning or good night, because this is my daytime, because I work second shift. So this is my daytime. This is you all's nighttime. But thank you for tuning in again. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you all. And stay tuned for another Reading is Fundamental. And like I said, it shouldn't be too much longer. I think one of the books, though, that I got is The Jews in Morocco. I won't get that one until like the end of July, closer to the beginning of August. So some of these books, it's hard to get them. Sometimes you have to, when you're buying on Amazon, you're buying from a third party. So be careful with that. That's why I always tell you the page numbers and stuff, because I got duped a couple of times buying books. There's this one book that I've been looking for. It's called The Negro in Our History by Carter G. Woodson. And I thought I found it the other day. It had the right number of pages and everything. And I get the book and it's missing like 300 and something pages. I'm like, no. That's not going to work. So I had to end up sending that one back. So that's why I always let people know how many pages are in the books. That way you don't get duped like I got duped, because I'd hate for that to happen. That's the worst thing, to order a book and then you get the book and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing all these pages. What's going on? So at least if you have something, to base it off of, like, okay, this book should have 300 pages, and you get it and maybe it has 280 or something, then you're missing 20. I mean, I would still buy the book. It's better than nothing. That's all I'm going to say about that. But again, in the description box, I did put all of the information in there as far as where I get my books. Most of the time it's Amazon, Abe Books, Thrift Books. I did purchase several books from the Underground Bookstore, which is located in Chicago. You can Google that, the Underground Bookstore. The guy that owns that, he's really nice. He's an older man. His name is Yoel. He will ship the books out to you. So he's good with it. He has a lot of books, pretty much probably anything you can think of, he has. So again, check the description box out for where I get the books. And also, let me go back to Waisu Kenyon's comments with my email address. If you are interested in getting the Dred Scott case, let me see if I can find it. You can email me here. And it's $25 for the Dred Scott case. If you're interested in the King Alfred plan, it's $25 for the King Alfred plan. And I'd be more than happy to send it out to you. My Cash App would be $KY. Oh, actually, I changed it. So it's $Unity is essential. So just let me know, email me first. That way I can make sure that you have the right Cash App and I will send it out to you. That's not a problem. And so I appreciate you all again for tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thank you again, Y2 Kenyon. Thank you again to Sean. And it looks like we have somebody else in here, but they're not speaking. So thank you for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, please subscribe to the channel, share it out, and like. And you all have a good evening or a good morning. All right. Peace.